I want to thank my parents in particular. And my parents are very important to me, not simply because of what they've done for me, but because my story really begins with them and informs my perspective on what it means to be a Secretary of Labor. They fled Cuba, they came to the United States seeking freedom, and they found it. They met in Miami in high school. They fell in love. They married young. My mother was in her teens when she found out she was pregnant. Neither attended college. Growing up, they struggled. Not as much as other Americans have struggled, but they struggled. My mother started out as a typist at a real estate firm. At times, she commuted 90 minutes each way for her job. My father served in the Army. Later, he tried to start a small business, but he of higher education, his lack of ability to deal with forms and rules made it very difficult for him to be a small business owner. And so he went on to hold various jobs, and he ended his working life as an inventory clerk at a cell phone store. Our family lived paycheck to paycheck. My grandmother cared for me while we grew up, and that was an incredibly helpful and loving thing to do because both my parents worked full-time. At times, my parents went into debt, deep debt, the kind of debt that they tell you not to go into because credit card interest rates are high. But they went into that debt, and they took on second jobs to make ends meet. And they did that because they wanted to give me an education. And so I'm here because of them. And my success is very much their success. They were able to give me these opportunities because even though they didn't have a college education, they had something very important, and that's a job. And though at times they lost their job, they were always able to find another job. And that was very important. Well, today Americans are facing the same challenges and struggles, but for many Americans, only worse. My parents had jobs, but not all Americans have jobs. Some Americans have seen their jobs go overseas. Some Americans have seen their jobs filled by foreign workers. And I've read and I've seen press reports that not only have they been filled by foreign workers, but to add insult to injury, they've been asked to train their foreign replacements. And some Americans have seen that jobs are available, but that these available jobs require skills they do not have. Helping Americans find good jobs, safe jobs, should not be a partisan issue.